Hi, we're glad to have our young and beautiful vegan chef Rebecca Frye here with us. So before you start to show us the wonders of vegan food cooking, what's the best way to advocate veganism in your idea?
Through people's stomachs, cooking for them.
You bet.
And just being honest and talking about what it takes to live the lifestyle, but mostly through cooking for them.
Rebecca, thank you for being here with us. Are you ready to show us your tasty gourmet cuisines?
I am. Thank you so much for having me. I can't wait to share my recipes with everyone.
Sure, let's get started.
Great. Hello, welcome to Vegetarianism, the Noble Way of Living. My name is Rebecca Frye. I'm a vegan natural food chef from San Francisco, California. Today I'll be preparing a recipe called the Comforting Millet and Vegetable Bake. We'll be using millet, which is a lesser known grain, but it's delicious and very nutritious. It's a grain that is very easy for our bodies to digest, and it's a nutty, sweet tasting grain, slightly yellow in color. We'll be using that in a bake with some really nice fresh vegetables, and it's a really lovely side dish. So let's get started. I'm going to start by sauteing our vegetables. Put this on medium to high heat. And we're going to be using grapeseed oil today. Grapeseed oil is really great for sauteing because it can withstand high heat. So we'll be using 2 tablespoons here. And we'll move this around to coat the pan. And as soon as that gets hot, it's almost there, add in onions and let those start to soften. Using both yellow and red onion just for a little taste and color differentiation. Move these around to get coated in oil. And here I've got some cleaned and sliced cremini mushrooms. The cremini mushrooms are going to add a really earthy taste and texture to this dish. And as you can see, we're starting with 2 cups of spinach, and it looks like a lot, but it's really amazing how much spinach will wilt down when it's cooked. So this will come to about 1/4 of the size of what it is now. But spinach is very nutritious, and it's important that you actually cook spinach because spinach has an oxalic acid to it when it's raw, and cooking will neutralize that acid. But if you don't cook spinach, that acid can actually block the absorption of other nutrients. Okay, our onions are starting to soften. So I'm going to go ahead and add in our mushrooms. And now move these around to coat them in oil also. And now I'm going to add the garlic. You wait a few minutes to add the garlic so it doesn't stick to the pan and burn it. Now, while these are cooking down, I'm going to open up a can of fire-roasted diced tomatoes. Tomatoes are my all-time favorite food. Very sweet, and I use them in many dishes, but the fire-roasted has an even better earthy, roasted taste to them that go along well with these flavors. So we want to drain off the liquid here. Give this a little stir, and you can start to smell the onion and garlic and mushroom coming together. It smells delicious. Now I'm going to add in some zucchini. We've got fresh chopped zucchini. You want to cut those pretty small so that they'll cook down pretty easily. Now at this point, I'm going to go ahead and season our vegetables with salt and pepper. Always use fresh ground sea salt as much as possible. Much healthier than your regular table salt because it has all the minerals from the sea. And fresh ground black pepper as well. You could also add in beans at this point if you wanted to add in some protein to this dish. Now we're going gonna start adding in our spinach by the handful and allow it to wilt down. This is baby spinach, so it'll start to wilt down fairly quickly. So a little bit of heat does it. Spinach is one of my favorite greens. I try and incorporate it as much as I can. It's really a delicious, mild tasting green. And I'm going to start to put in some of the tomatoes too. The liquid in the tomatoes will help to wilt down the spinach as well. So we'll start to get this incorporated. So this is really the filling of this casserole. And as it bakes, the filling will kind of soak into the millet, so it'll give the millet a really lovely taste. And we'll add in a little bit more spinach. And I'm going to re-season it at this point. As you're adding ingredients, it's important to continually season your dish as you're building the layers. I'm also going to add in some red pepper flakes just for a little added heat here. And we'll add in the rest of the tomatoes now. You can see all the colors coming together and it smells delicious. One other ingredient we've got here is fresh chopped basil. We're going to use about half of the basil now and we'll save the other half to garnish towards the end. Love the smell of fresh basil. So as you can see, this dish has a bit more of an Italian flavor profile. And that basil instantly changes the dish. You can smell the aromatics. It smells great. It's good to keep it constantly moving too. Helps some of the water that's being released to cook off as steam. As soon as this is done cooking, we'll be layering it with the millet in the casserole dish, and then we'll set it in the oven for about 20 minutes.